Welcome to Forgotten TV, the podcast that brings you TV memories of the 70s and 80s with a focus on short-lived TV shows, TV pilots, and made-for-TV movies. I'm Chris Cooling, and now I'm coming to you on the Forgotten microphone. If things sound a little bit different this week, I dug out my 1994 vintage Radio Shack microphone out of the closet and paired it with the new mixer that I just got to make things a little bit sound a little bit more like a live studio production. So it really reminds me of the radio station days. I had a little bit of experience producing radio content back in the early 90s. In fact, my first radio commercial I wrote and recorded when I was 12 years old in the 6th grade. I submitted an entry to a contest. It was selected, and I recorded a public service announcement against littering, and I believe it aired on K-Buck back in Baytown, Texas, and this would have been around 1980, I suppose. Well, taking a look at what we previously have covered on Forgotten TV, last week we looked at the TV theme songs, and before that we covered The Popcorn Kid, which was from 1987. And I thought, what if we went back even further and took a look at what the TV weekend looked like 40 years ago, in April of 1977?
We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
A new girl in town with a brand new style. She was just passing through.
All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess.
Dig the funky TV theme songs from 1977. Taking a look at the 1977 TV schedule for Friday night. At 7 p.m. Central, ABC aired Donnie and Marie, followed by the ABC Friday Night Movie. NBC started off the evening with Sanford and Son, followed by Chico and the Man, The Rockford Files, and then the evening ended with Quincy M.E. And we're going to take a closer look at the CBS schedule from 1977. At 7 p.m., they had a show called Nashville 99.
He's a man, and he's proud, and he's all Tennessee. He was raised to believe we're all equal and free. Like the Crockett's, like the Jacksons, like the stories that you've heard. He's a man who's a man of his word. And the road he's chosen to follow brings him to this place and time. Now he wears the badge Nashville 99. From those mountains and those valleys and those lazy country days to the busy streets of Nashville and those hectic city ways. That's the life of a man who's just one of a kind. He's the man behind the badge, Nashville 99.
That was Jerry Reed singing the theme to Nashville 99. TV show on CBS. It aired in April of 1977, and that's all it aired. It was only on for 4 episodes. Claude Akins was the main star, was a farmer-turned-cop, played Lieutenant Stony Huff. And Jerry Reed was also in that cast, along with Charlie Pride and character actress Lucille Benson. You might remember her from tons of things back in the 70s and 80s, and she was on everything from The Waltons to Little House on the Prairie to Wonder Woman. She played the hotel manager on Bosom Buddy, and also later was in the show Alice as a recurring role. Let's take a look at 8 p.m. Central. That was Code R, aired in April of 1977. Actually, it was on for about half the year, from January to June, starring James Houghton, Martin Cove, Tom Simcox, Joan Freeman, Suzanne Reed, and Ben Davidson. Code R was an action-adventure series that centered around the emergency services of the California Channel Islands. So sort of drawing inspiration from not only Emergency, but shows like Hawaii Five-0. Tom Simcox played Walt Robinson, the island police chief, along with his family. The show centered around the emergency services that were all housed in the same building. And it was a mid-season replacement show that aired for 13 episodes before being canceled, in the light of stiff competition from Donnie and Marie, as well as NBC's Sanford and Son and Chico and the Man Hour. Moving on to 9 p.m. Central Time.
Good evening, Baker.
You're early, sir.
I want you to establish a special force of 6 agents, accountable to you only.
There's one man I want for this job. He's running a bookstore in Santa Barbara. His name is James Hunter. Strictly civilian now, but he's one of the best agents we had.
Advise him that all missions will be so covert that once assigned, an agent will be entirely on his own, no matter what the consequences. Get to him immediately.
I'll call him right now.
To ensure complete secrecy, these agents will operate outside the normal channels of your community.
James Hunter?
Yes?
This is Baker. I think it's time we talked.
This is Hunter, starring James Franciscus and Linda Evans. Sort of if you listen to it, it's very much before its time show. The plot centered around a United States government intelligence agency only called the Agency, and a resigned agent that was recruited again to work for the government in counter-espionage. The show ran from February to May of 1977. There were 13 episodes produced, but because of its cancellation, 4 of the episodes never ended up airing. Hunter is one of those mid to late 70s shows that sort of disappeared. We're right at the cusp of the home video revolution, and people are just beginning to have home video equipment capable of recording TV shows. And it doesn't look like there was ever a release of Hunter, and I am not able to find any video of complete episodes of it, although it was popular overseas, so you may find some foreign language versions of Hunter, but not English language versions. At least that's what I found in my searches. If you're able to locate any English versions of Hunter, that would be very cool. Contact us with that information. On Saturday night, NBC started off the evening with Emergency, followed by the NBC Saturday Night at the Movies. CBS had the Mary Tyler Moore Show, followed by Bob Newhart and All in the Family, and Alice and the Carol Burnett Show at 9 p.m. Central. ABC gave us Blansky's Beauties at 7 p.m., followed by Fish, Starsky and Hutch, and Most Wanted. And we're going to take a look at a couple of those ABC shows for Saturday night, starting off with Blansky's Beauties.
I'm Sunshine. I'm looking for a man. I'm Arkansas, and I'm looking for a tall man. I'm Bambi, and men look for me.
I'm Anthony. I'm just looking.
Fame and the fortune, waiting to be won. I want it all. I want it all. In the limelight, in a place in the sun. I want it all. I want it all.
Airing from February to June of 1977 at 7 p.m. Central Saturday nights, it was Blansky's Beauties. Sort of a spin-off of Happy Days. Nancy Blansky, played by Nancy Walker, was a longtime Las Vegas showbiz vet, and she played the same character in a February episode of Happy Days, and then the following week she was on Blansky's Beauties with the same character name. So it seemed to be a spin-off of Happy Days. The series also starred Eddie Mecca, who would later be on Laverne and Shirley, as well as Scott Baio and Pat Morita, but they were playing different characters than they played in Happy Days. So it was sort of a spin-off, but some of the characters played, or some of the actors played different characters than what they ended up playing in Happy Days. This was a 30-minute comedy and aired for 13 episodes. Blansky's Beauties was followed at 7:30 Central by That was Fish, which was a spin-off of Barney Miller, starring Abe Vigoda as the same New York City Police Department detective Phil Fish that he played on The Barney Miller Show. Instead of focusing on police work, this series focused on the domestic side of Fish's life. He and his wife Bernice became foster parents to 5 racially mixed children, one of which played by Todd Bridges. The series did last for 2 seasons and 35 episodes. The series was released in 2011 by Shout Factory, and it appears to be out of print, but it is available as a bonus feature. At least the first season of Fish is available as a bonus feature if you buy the Barney Miller Complete series. Skipping an hour to 9 p.m. Central, It was Most Wanted at 9 p.m. Central, an American crime drama series. Yes, it's a cop show starring Robert Stack and Joanne Harris that focused on an elite task force of the LAPD named Most Wanted. The show gave us a full season of 21 episodes before being canceled. Robert Stack, of course, would later on go on to host Unsolved Mysteries on NBC. And supposedly, CBS Home Entertainment is planning a DVD release of this set sometime in 2017 as part of their print-on-demand service. So if you're interested in getting Most Wanted on DVD, I guess you'll have to keep checking on Amazon. Taking a look at Sunday night. Now, the TV schedule on Sunday gave us an extra hour of prime time with shows starting from the network feeds at 6 p.m. Central instead of the normal 7 p.m. time slot. Starting with NBC, they kicked off the evening with The Wonderful World of Disney, followed by something called a wheel show. It was the NBC Sunday Mystery Movie. Now, what they used to do back in the day was rotate several popular shows that were similar in nature. So shows like Columbo, McCloud, McMillan and Wife, and even Quincy were often rotated. And they would take 2 episodes and combine them and sort of do a TV movie. And every week they would do a Sunday Mystery Movie. Let's take a listen to that theme song.
Starring Rock Hudson and Susan St. James as McMillan and Wife.
It's not something that's really done much anymore, or really at all, but that was quite popular in the 70s. On ABC, before they aired The $6 Million Man at 7 p.m., followed by the ABC Sunday Night Movie, they would air The Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries.
Mystery of the Haunted House.
That was the first episode of The Hardy Boys with The Mystery of the Haunted House. It was actually called The Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries, and shows alternated featuring brothers Frank and Joe Hardy with shows that featured Nancy Drew. The Hardy Boys were played by Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy, and Nancy Drew was played by Pamela Sue Martin. Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew was around for 3 seasons, and the 3rd season they completely dropped the Nancy Drew Mysteries for some reason and just focused on the Hardy Boys. It was also a shorter season with only 10 episodes. Some of the more popular episodes were when the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew would actually team up to solve mysteries, one of which was the one that kicked off season 2, which was a 2-parter, The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew Meet Dracula. And there was a lot of fun to be had there. All 3 seasons have apparently been released and are available on DVD. Taking a look at CBS, which kicks off the evening with 60 Minutes, followed by Rhoda and Phyllis, at 8 p.m. Central was a show called Switch.
Well,
Switch, an action-adventure detective series starring likable actors Eddie Albert and Robert Wagner, aired from 1979 to 1978. It was around for 3 seasons and gave us 70 episodes. Recurring characters were Charlie Callis, Sharon Gless, and Ann Archer for a few episodes as well. A year after his role in Switch, Robert Wagner would, of course, be in the show Heart to Heart with Stephanie Powers the very next year in 1979. On CBS at 9 p.m. Central, that is Delvecchio with Judd Hirsch as the title character Dominic Delvecchio, an Italian-American detective who worked for the LAPD. The show also starred Charles Hayde as well as James B. Sicking, both of which would later be in Hill Street Blues. Delvecchio was around for one whole season, gave us 22 episodes, and this was one of the earlier shows that TV writer and producer Stephen Bochco worked on, as he was a writer of 8 episodes of this series. Again, airing in 1977, it's one of those shows that has sort of disappeared. One of the episodes apparently made it to a DVD release of a title called Brilliant But Canceled TV Dramas. And other than that, it's not something that's easily found. And that was a look at weekend programming April of 1977.
Ever miss something special on TV? Introducing Selectavision, the new video cassette recorder from RCA.
Selectavision records any program and plays it back on any TV. You can watch what you want whenever you want. Up to 4 hours on one cassette, not just 2, but 4. RCA's incredible new Selectavision video cassette recorder, so you won't miss a thing.
Would you welcome Don Rickles?
Bless you, birds. Working a bird museum.
I must say, forgive my... I know. You going to a Grange meeting or what? This is a high-class show. This is not some...
I know. Forgive me, but I usually don't trust that. I'm meticulous. We come from the same school of being meticulous and dress accordingly. One night you wore a white jumper suit, and I said to my wife, I said, "Hon, look at that." And she said, "He looks absolutely adorable." But my wife is a lonely Jewess who just hangs around the park going, "Hi." But, hey, Lou, isn't it funny staying up late? But, I just got to say something, because this man, nobody realizes before... By the way...
We all realize. I just told him.
Oh, would you just lay there?
Certainly.
You get $40 million.
Why don't you tell him?
Collect your money and lay there.
You started
Doc,
to tell me.
how are you, babe? Good to see you. I spoke to the hospital. Your lip is gone. Now...
You started to tell us why you're dressed this way.
I'm dressed this way.
Let's do one thing at a time. Otherwise, if we get back...
Fine. I get the feeling I'm at a clinic and you're my psychiatrist. And I know your problems. Anyway, laugh, Lou.
And that was legendary comic Don Rickles in his 1977 appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Don Rickles has died on April 6th at the age of 90. A stand-up comic, he started appearing on TV in 1955 as an announcer, and he transitioned to bit parts and started making guest appearances on such shows as The Dick Van Dyke Show, The Munsters, The Addams Family, Gilligan's Island, Get Smart, The Twilight Zone, Andy Griffith, I Dream of Jeannie. Younger ones will recognize him as the voice of Mr. Potato Head from the Toy Story movies and TV shorts. I suppose that's a little appropriate since Frank Sinatra used to call him Bullet Head. And that wraps it up this time on Forgotten TV. I'd like to thank YouTube channels 11DB11, 80s and 70s Memories, McNeil Cobb, and Channel 78 Productions for posting a lot of those theme songs for us. Forgotten TV can now be found on Stitcher, where you can rate and subscribe to the podcast there. Interact with me on Twitter at Forgotten TV Show or on the Facebook page, or just visit the website, forgotten.tv, and all those links are linked up for you there. Until next time, I'm Chris Cooling, and this has been Forgotten TV.